Hey guys, what's up? It's me, TenneyBox. Welcome back to another video. In the background is some LEGO Star Wars Complete Saga gameplay, which actually I might be doing a Let's Play on soon. I was originally doing this for my secondary channel co-op shop, but recently we're going through some layout changes on that, and I just don't know if it's really belongs to that channel, so I'm gonna probably be doing it over on my channel. But that's just the gameplay. This whole video is about it's gonna be kind of a pessimistic video, honestly. Because I feel like there isn't a lot of positive things we talk about on this channel, and I thought we'd just make it more negative, right? I mean, those of you that don't know how, the general direction that gaming has gone recently has been pretty negative. I mean, minus, technical achievements and just awesome games, right? A lot of crap has been thrown in the faces of gamers, and is continuously being thrown into our faces, right? We got the whole Star Wars Battlefront 2 fiasco and debacle, where the entire game was legitimately based around gambling, which I was going to make this video something just along the lines of gambling, but it's become much deeper of an issue than just gambling. Yes, the gambling by the way, if you want my opinion on whether or not I think loot boxes is gambling, you can absolutely guarantee that I believe that it's gambling. Just because there's no quote-unquote physical rewards for it is an absolute cop-out and scapegoat by anybody that would tell you otherwise it is gambling. If you don't want to call it gambling, then that's fine, but I'm going to have to firmly disagree with that, because spending money on something, whether, in my opinion, if it's virtual or physical, is gambling. If you have a chance of winning something that's completely randomized, whether it's virtual or physical, and I, honest to God, think there should be a definition change if people are actually arguing if it's only physical things that it counts as gambling. Because it's just a crappy way to argue something that should obviously be, anybody with common sense could say, oh yeah, for sure, this is gambling, right? And I don't mean to crap on anybody's belief system if they don't think it's gambling. I mean, I kind of do, because that's the entire point. Yeah, it's gambling. I'm sorry. It really just is. And you can say whatever you want. I don't think anybody under the age, and this is including me. I'm 20 years old right now. I think that it should be a age 21 thing. I don't think gambling should exist at all in games, but I think that if they are going to push it, I think it should be much stricter than it is. It should be 21 and older. And they're actually, I think it's the representatives from Hawaii. I think some representatives are working on getting that into a bill or passed. I don't know the details on it, the finite details, but I'm absolutely for that. And it's not just to protect, developers and the public. It's to protect the kids and the adults, 21 and under, 21 and younger, and even above that, honestly, because I'll be honest, there are a lot of people that have gambling addictions or issues, which obviously is going to be a hard thing for them to solve and sort through, and I know some people don't want help, which is their personal decision, right? I'm not going to say here, you gotta stop doing those gamblings online. It's no, it's not my right or my business to tell anybody how to live their lives. But it is my business and I think it should be in everyone's best interests to especially protect people that are 21 and younger or under from that. Because it's just like they have with phone games, right? They have the press here to get your energy restored or something shady like that. I've had personal experience with this, not in my end of me spending stuff. Before I spent some money here or there on CS:GO, and I hated it. It made me feel like an addict, because I would play and I'd do 3 in a row, and it's oh my god, I just wasted $5 or however much it was at the time, I don't remember, and I hated it. Yeah, I won a $100 knife once, and that was really awesome. But for those of you that that have won before, it's just an incentive to keep going and going and pushing it. And luckily for me, I didn't do that. I stopped after I got that. I learned my lesson from that, and that was a few years ago. And honestly, yeah, I regret spending money on CS:GO. I don't like it. It's turned me off to gaming so much that I almost regret buying. It almost pushes me away from buying new titles, because everything has gambling in it. And like I said, this is a rant that extends not just gambling. It extends much farther beyond. I've been recently getting back into playing The Sims, right? So I loaded up Sims 4, I went to the page, was like, okay, do they have any expansion packs? Like, I haven't played this game in probably... I mean, I made a live stream of it, like, for 10 minutes, just a test a few months ago. But before that, I hadn't probably played it in probably... all seriousness, like, I haven't played that game almost since its release. Probably like a year ago, I played seriously. And honestly, if you want my opinion on Sims 4, I think it's underdeveloped. I think it's kind of hastily released. Sims 3, in my opinion, is a much, much better game. The only thing that I would give to Sims 4 is that, like, yeah, there's some really cool elements of the new variety with, like, the emotions and stuff. But I would consider Sims 4 much more of a downgrade than an upgrade from Sims 3. But this isn't about quality in the game. This is about, and this is talking about EA right now, the rampant disregard for, like, just human life. I don't want to say human life because that sounds really dramatic, right? I don't want to say that. They have no idea how ridiculous. I mean, they probably do know. They definitely do know. I'm trying to word this in a way that doesn't sound ridiculous. So I went to go look at the DLC, because when it comes to gaming, I like to have the complete game. I've always been like that. And it's pissed me off to, like, where as a kid, I could pay 20 to 30 bucks for Final Fantasy X, say, like that. Get the whole game for, like, 50 plus hours easily with just the story. And that was just 20 or 30 bucks without any extra bullcrap. That was amazing. And you know what? It's not like that anymore. You can't do that. Like, yeah, you can go back and play Final Fantasy X for that. But let's see, Final Fantasy 15. Oh, you gotta get the DLC with that. I don't know all the details with 15, so I don't want to just assume that 15 has paid DLC. I know it has DLC. I'm not sure what to pay for. I'm pretty sure there's some free ones, but I'm pretty sure there are also ones that you have to pay for. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I'm not talking about Final Fantasy. That was just a broad example. What I'm talking about right now is The Sims, and I'm talking about gaming in general as well. So, you want to know how much it would cost for me to buy every piece of DLC, and I don't have an exact estimate here, or an exact number, I don't have a finite number, I have about an estimate. You ready for this? $300. $300 for one game's complete content. And here's the kicker. That's not with the $40 base game, and also that is not with all of the content for the game, because they are still developing stuff for this game. This is how sickening it has gotten. Can you imagine spending $300 on a game? I know there are people out there that have and do every day. It makes me just so mad talking about this. $300. This is a franchise that I have loved dearly from, I don't even know when I started playing. I played on PS2. I've played the Game Boy version of it. I've played... There's a DS version of one of them. I've played PSP versions. Like, I've played this mother on almost all platforms. And I have respected the heck out of Maxis and EA for all this time. And now it's become this shell of what it used to be. And like I said, this isn't just a rant on EA. And it's not just a rant on gambling. It's a rant on how we're being treated as consumers. We're being treated like garbage. You know what I expect? I would pay $60 for Sims 4 if it had all the DLC. I'm sorry. That is just my personal philosophy. I cannot spend more than $60 on something, and let alone $300? $300 for a half-baked game that you're basically adding the content that should have been in the base game to this game. Well, you got pets now. Well, you got washing machines. You've got dryers. You've got vampires. Like, screw off. I could go play any of the older games, and I know it's been going on for a long time, and this has always been their philosophy. And I don't want to just sound like I'm just spewing out hatred for this, because like I said, these DLCs are really great. From what I've played of them in the past, and the only DLC I've purchased for Sims 4 was Get to Work, and I believe I got that for my birthday a year ago, or was it Christmas, or maybe I bought it with spare cash. I don't remember. But I got Get to Work, and I think I also have one of the game packs called oh, what was it? It was the campfire one. It was like Off to Camp or something stupid. Like I said, those game packs were okay on their own, but I wouldn't pay $40 for it. Hell, I wouldn't pay $10 for it. I think that it should be part of the base game. At the very least, there should be some rule that like just says straight off the bat that you cannot. I don't know if this should be. I honest to God think this should be a thing, depending on your game. Like The Sims 4, I think they should have a general guidelines rule saying that you cannot spend over $100 on this game, right? So you have $60 or $40 to $60, depending. I can't remember. Know what this. I don't know what the base game is at, but $100 seems, I would say, too much for all the DLC. I could see like spending that money over time, right? If you have $60 or $40, and then the other $40 or $60 goes into the game as like the 3 years go on. But $40 for one piece of DLC that, yeah, it extends the fun, and I love that about The Sims. And I love that about a lot of games, that it extends the fun. But why wasn't that fun and just humor and intrigue brought into the game to begin with? Why do I have to pay as a consumer more and more money for something that should have been in the base game? And like I said, this isn't about just EA, it's not just about The Sims. This is about almost every single AAA game that comes out nowadays, because everything is either A, based around a gambling system, or B, microtransaction to the point of no return. Like, I am sick and tired of this gamers, and you have things going into the future games going into that are being delayed, basically. And my theory for this is they're just seeing like, oh my god, EA just got crap done for this. Maybe these gamers or these consumers aren't as stupid and gullible and just willing to throw money at the floor for nothing. Like, maybe they're actually waking up. Maybe, just maybe, with a little bit of backlash in the gaming community, we can actually be respected again. I really hope we can be, because I honestly miss the days of being able to buy a game on day one, having no glitchy bullcrap. I hate spending DLC money. Like, yeah, DLC, if there's a good DLC out there, that's honest to God a good DLC, like I said, I can spend some money here or there on it. I'm not going to spend as much as the base game, or even argued, I wouldn't probably spend half as much as like a $60 game, like $30. I think it's still a little bit too much depending on the DLC. But it's just gotten to the point where it's disgusting. I am almost disgusted to pay money. In fact, no, I will say this. I am disgusted to almost be a gamer at this point, because I have to spend money. That sounded really stupid. Yeah, obviously it's still money. I am more than happy to spend money on helping developers out and publishers actually make good content and push out good content. But when it comes to the point of like no return, like I said, where gamers like you and me are just being crapped on, basically, by these major business, or these big businessmen and major publishers, I almost want to give up AAA gaming and just go to, say, indie games, or just focus on old stuff. Like, why? It's kind of weird that I'm in the year 2018, and I guess it was 2017 when I filmed this. I'm playing Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga. Fantastic game. You know what? No DLC. There's nothing like that. I don't have to pay $20 to unlock Darth Maul. I don't have to pay $5 to play as Qui-Gon Jinn or Jar Jar Binks. In fact, I would almost recommend getting this game over Star Wars Battlefront 2. In fact, I do. This is a better Star Wars game than Battlefront 2. And there's not a first-person mode in this game. It's a better first-person shooter than Battlefront 2. You know why? Because this game isn't built around disgusting gaming addictions and gambling and microtransactions and DLC that should have been part of the game on day one. Like I said, there are DLCs out there that I completely understand and will pay for, right? I mean, I'm not the type of person that likes to spend, like I said, over $60 in a game. But if a game is that exceptional and actually has, like, my attention and obviously cares about the consumer more than they do about earning that quick dollar from gamers that are suckers, and I'm sorry if you are offended by that, but honestly, you're getting suckered by major developers. When you open a loot box, when you open a loot crate, if you open something just randomly generated, I'm sorry, you're being suckered out of money, especially in online gaming, because this is the sad truth. And as much as I am against gambling in real life, like, obviously I don't mind it every once in a while, like, right? Like, that's any person. The sad thing about this is that gambling doesn't have any real benefits unless you're playing something like CSGO, and I would never push that agenda of saying, yeah, you gotta gamble. Like, no. It's something that's optional there, and I wouldn't recommend it, because there are a lot of people, especially younger audiences, and younger men and women, that will say, or I should say girls and boys, because they're not even men and women at this point, the ages I'm describing, like, it can be severely addicting and addictive, and it's so sickening and sad to see, and honestly, I'm kind of disgusted with it. That's just my honest opinion. I can understand if people disagree with me or whatever, but I thought this video is long overdue. I'm still working on my movie review for part 2 of the open house. I'm also working on my TonyBox Pro Skater Let's Play. Actually, you know what? No, I finished that. All the parts will be out soon, and I'm working on getting a new project started, so I'm not falling behind with everything. But yeah, I don't know where gaming's going. I don't even know what to honestly title this video. This is just more of a rambling rant that I love making, because it raises my blood pressure and just gets me so depressed about where we are in the 21st century, the year 2018 in gaming. Like, how do we have, like, such great accomplishments like VR? And just great AAA games that are just destroyed by the producers of them. Like, it makes literally it makes virtually no sense, and it's so gross. It just is. Taking advantage of kids and adults for money is disgusting. That's my honest opinion, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Have yourselves a fantastic day. Keep calm and trust your instincts, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And yeah, remember, it is your choice if you want to spend money online with gaming. I would severely, depending on, like I said, if gambling, I don't recommend it. But if it's a DLC here or there, it's okay. Just don't be suckered out of money. And yeah, that's all I have for today, guys. Thanks for watching, and peace out.